Mary Poppins remains one of Disney's most iconic creations, yet behind its enduring wonder lies a tapestry of quiet, emotional stories. From Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke to David Tomlinson, Karen Dautrice, and Elsa Lanchester, each artist walked a life path shaped by unseen challenges, personal trials, and moments of inner resilience. Today, we revisit their remarkable journeys not to dwell on loss, but to reflect on growth, perseverance, and the lasting imprint they left on audiences, continuing to inspire generations through time. Did the life journeys of the Mary Poppins cast spark your curiosity or stir your emotions? If the stories resonated with you or revealed something unexpected, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to share whether you'd like us to uncover more untold moments from Hollywood's past. And if you're enjoying the video, remember to subscribe and stay connected for more fascinating stories ahead. At the age of 58, Hermione Baddeley took on the role of Ellen, the awkward yet lively household maid in Disney's beloved Mary Poppins, 1964. Though her appearance was brief, her animated expressions, unmistakable Cockney tone, and instinctive sense of timing transformed small scenes into moments of genuine delight. Beneath that lighthearted portrayal stood a richly accomplished career spanning stage and film, through which Hermione became widely admired as one of Britain's most distinctive and enduring character performers. Yet away from the spotlight, the personal journey of Hermione Yolande Ruby Clinton Baddeley, born on the 13th of November 1906 in Broseley, Shropshire, carried a far heavier emotional weight. Her private life was shaped by 2 marriages that ultimately fell apart, including one marked by deep dissatisfaction that left lasting inner wounds. Later, she placed her hopes in a close bond with fellow actor Lawrence Harvey, only to experience another quiet disappointment when that connection faded. These repeated emotional setbacks drew her into long periods of solitude, and the stage became her refuge, a place where unspoken feelings could be transformed into expression and where performance offered both escape and healing. Time continued to place heavy trials in her path. In her later years, Hermione faced repeated health setbacks that slowly silenced her voice, a deeply painful turn for an actress renowned for her quick humor and expressive presence. As her strength faded, she withdrew into a quieter existence, carrying both physical limitations and the emotional echoes of relationships that had not endured. On the 19th of August 1986, she passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 79. Her estate was estimated at around $800,000, yet her lasting significance reaches far beyond numbers. For audiences, she is forever remembered as Ellen, the awkward, endearing maid who brought lighthearted laughter to Mary Poppins, a role whose joy gently contrasts with a life shaped by endurance, vulnerability, and quiet solitude. At the age of 62, Elsa Lanchester appeared in Mary Poppins, 1964, as Katie Nana, the sharp-tempered caretaker whose abrupt departure opens the story. Though her screen time was fleeting, the moment proved essential, clearing the path for Mary Poppins' extraordinary entrance and highlighting Elsa's talent for creating vivid, unforgettable characters in just a few strokes. Beyond the camera, however, the life of Elsa Sullivan Lanchester, born the 28th of October 1902 in Lewisham, London, carried a more complex emotional tone. In 1929, she married renowned actor Charles Laughton, beginning a long partnership shaped by deep affection, unspoken tensions, and personal circumstances that cast lasting shadows over their shared journey. Over time, their union functioned largely as a public arrangement, while privately leaving Elsa with an enduring sense of emotional distance. With no children and few sources of lasting comfort, she later acknowledged turning to unhealthy habits as a way to fill the quiet spaces in her life. In the 1930 seconds, a serious accident placed her in grave danger and left lasting effects on her physical strength. As years went by, Her increasingly unconventional behavior gently widened the gap between herself and those around her, creating isolation even amid Hollywood's constant activity. Recurring health difficulties followed, and with them came a deeper withdrawal, a period marked by solitude, fragility, and the ongoing effort to endure life's unseen burdens. In her final chapter, Elsa faced serious respiratory illness along with the lasting consequences of 2 strokes, conditions that confined her to bed and placed her under the care of the Motion Picture Relief Fund. On the 26th of December 1986, she passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 84. Her estate was estimated at around $5 million, built through decades of dedication to classic cinema. Yet numbers were never the measure of her story. What lingers is the portrait of a performer who often stood in the long shadow of a celebrated partner, ultimately leaving the world in quiet isolation. With her passing, the sharp-tempered Katie Nana exited the screen forever. And as Elsa's journey closed in stillness, the legacy of Mary Poppins continued through another familiar presence, Jane Darwell, a cherished character actress whose brief appearance brought its own gentle warmth to the film's enduring magic. At the age of 85, Jane Darwell appeared as the Bird Woman in Mary Poppins, 1964. Seated on the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral, gently offering crumbs to the pigeons, she shaped a moment of quiet grace that lasted only minutes on screen, yet became one of the film's most moving scenes, inseparably tied to the tender melody of "Feed the Birds." This role marked the final chapter of her long and distinguished career, bringing to a close more than 5 decades in cinema, over 170 film appearances, and a legacy honored with an Academy Award. Yet beneath the recognition lay a life shaped by quiet sacrifice and profound loss. Born Patty Woodard on the 15th of October 1879 in Palmyra, Missouri, she was raised in comfort, but asked to abandon early dreams of the circus and opera due to her father's firm opposition. Adopting the name Jane Darwell, she devoted herself to the stage and later to Hollywood, building an extraordinary career that unfolded alongside a deeply solitary personal life, without marriage or children. During the war years, the loss of those close to her cast a long emotional shadow, drawing her into a period of deep inner struggle. That weight grew heavier in 1940, when a destructive fire erased her home, a turning point that left lasting marks and quietly shaped the rest of her journey. In her final years, Darwell remained devoted to her craft, even as her strength gradually faded and ongoing heart issues took their toll. That lifelong commitment eventually led her to spend her last chapter in a care facility, far from the lights she had known for decades. On the 13th of August 1967, she passed away following a cardiac episode at the age of 87. Her estate was estimated at around $700,000, yet financial measures never defined her significance. She endures in memory as the Bird Woman seated quietly on the stone steps of London, a timeless image representing vulnerability, quiet compassion, and the enduring humanity of an artist whose influence reached far beyond the screen. At the age of 77, Reginald Owen stepped into the role of Admiral Boom in Mary Poppins, 1964, portraying the eccentric retired naval officer convinced that the world beyond his walls remained locked in perpetual conflict. Dressed in his commanding uniform, marked by a rigid stare and the thunder of ceremonial cannon fire across London's rooftops, he shaped one of the film's most memorable supporting figures. Appearing late in a long and prolific career, the role introduced his presence to new generations, ensuring his name endured alongside the hundreds of characters he had brought to life on stage and screen since the early years of the 20th century. Yet beyond the commanding presence he displayed on screen, the private life of John Reginald Owen, born on the 5th of August 1887 in Hertfordshire, England, carried quiet sorrow. The loss of his first wife to illness became a deeply personal wound that time never fully softened. In the solitude that followed, he sought distraction in risky pursuits that gradually led to financial pressure and prolonged strain. A serious accident in 1950 left him with lasting physical setbacks, further diminishing his strength. As the years passed, long-standing habits and advancing heart complications weighed heavily on his final chapter, shaping a life marked not only by achievement, but by endurance in the face of unseen hardship. On the 5th of November 1972, Reginald Owen passed away unexpectedly after a cardiac episode in Boise, Idaho, at the age of 85, and was later laid to rest at Morris Hill Cemetery. At the time, his estate was estimated at around $600,000, accumulated primarily through decades of work in classic cinema. Yet figures and finances never defined his place in memory. What endures most vividly is the image of Admiral Boom standing resolute on a rooftop, cannon fire echoing into the open sky in Mary Poppins, a cinematic moment preserved forever, capturing both playful spectacle and a quiet undertone of reflection that continues to resonate with audiences across generations. While he embodied composure and command before the camera, his private world was shaped by quiet grief. The most profound loss of his life came with the passing of his first wife after a long illness, an absence that settled into a lasting sense of isolation. In seeking distraction from that emptiness, he drifted into risky habits that gradually created financial pressure and uncertainty. A severe accident in 1950 left enduring physical effects, further diminishing his vitality. Over time, long-standing lifestyle choices and worsening heart conditions layered additional strain upon him, revealing a life where strength on screen coexisted with a deeply human struggle carried in silence. At the age of 52, Rita Shaw appeared as Mrs. Brill, the sharp-tongued housekeeper in Mary Poppins, 1964. Though her role was modest, she made a strong impression through her hurried kitchen scenes and exasperated reactions to the constant disorder of the Banks household. With limited screen time, Shaw still captured the essence of a tireless, practical woman whose firm voice carried authority. It was a character style she mastered and frequently portrayed, helping define her steady presence across American film and television throughout the 1,960 seconds. Rita M. Shaw, born on the 13th of September 1912 in South Paris, Maine, led a largely private life shaped by quiet emotional challenges. Her marriage to actor William Forrester ended in separation, leaving her to navigate single parenthood and its many responsibilities alone. That period brought feelings of isolation and unspoken disappointment, which she carried with quiet resolve. Over time, lifestyle habits she turned to for comfort gradually affected her well-being, contributing to health difficulties that would follow her into later years. In her final years, Rita Shaw's weakening health led her to withdraw from acting sooner than she had intended, closing a chapter she had hoped would last longer. On the 8th of January 1982, she passed away in Encino, California, due to complications related to severe respiratory illness, at the age of 69. Her estate was estimated at around $500,000, reflecting a career built on consistent and dedicated work across film and television. Yet her true legacy lives on through memory rather than numbers. Her depiction of the firm but warm-hearted housekeeper in Mary Poppins remains deeply familiar to audiences, standing as a lasting testament to her rare ability to give depth, humor, and life to even the briefest appearances on screen. At the age of 37, Arthur Mallet appeared in Mary Poppins, 1964, as Mr. Dawes Jr., the son of the rigid bank chairman. Though his role was brief, his hollowed features and tired gaze made a striking impact, giving the impression of a man already shaped by decades of strain despite his relatively young age. This distinctive presence became Mallet's quiet strength, His ability to convincingly embody characters far older than himself secured him a steady stream of supporting roles, often portraying men marked by time and experience, and allowed him to build a long, dependable career defined by subtlety rather than spotlight. Vivian Arthur Rivers Millett, born on the 24th of September 1927 in Lee, on the Solent, Hampshire, England, later relocated to the United States in pursuit of broader creative opportunities. Away from the camera, however, his personal world followed a quieter and more isolated path. After a marriage that did not endure, Millett gradually withdrew from domestic life, choosing solitude and channeling his focus into steady professional work. As time passed, health challenges emerged, bringing physical limitations that affected his movement and independence. These changes ultimately led him to step away from performance altogether. His final years unfolded quietly in a care facility, marked by reflection, restraint, and a life lived largely beyond public attention. A severe accident in 2000 left Arthur Millett with serious injuries, confining him to long periods of recovery where reflection became his constant companion. Memories of earlier performances offered quiet comfort during those difficult days. On the 18th of May 2013, he passed away in Santa Monica, California, at the age of 85. His estate was estimated at around $300,000, a modest sum when measured against decades of unwavering commitment to his art. Ultimately, Millett is remembered for giving life to characters shaped by fragility and fatigue, most notably in Mary Poppins, where his portrayal of the uneasy Mr. Dawes Jr. carried a depth and sincerity that left a lasting impression. At the age of 68, Marjorie Bennett appeared in Disney's classic Mary Poppins, 1964, as Miss Lark, the eccentric passerby who lovingly fussed over her small dog along Cherry Tree Lane. Though her appearance was brief, she infused the role with distinctive charm, adding a playful and memorable detail to the film's rich social tapestry. Born on the 15th of January 1896 in York, Western Australia, Bennett brought decades of stage and screen experience to even the smallest moments, leaving an impression that quietly lingered long after the scene had passed. Her marriage to William Cate Jr. appeared, from the outside, to promise stability, yet it failed to provide the comfort she had hoped for, leaving an emotional wound that quietly endured. In 1950, her life was profoundly altered by a devastating loss when her son died in a car accident. The absence that followed reshaped her inner world, drawing her into long periods of grief and isolation. Seeking purpose amid that pain, Bennett immersed herself in her profession, accepting nearly every opportunity that came her way, even as time and declining health slowly began to weigh upon her strength. Yet the demands of constant work, paired with poor financial turns that eventually led to bankruptcy, made her later years increasingly challenging. Those who knew her often remarked on a lingering melancholy in her gaze, as though the grief she carried had never truly lifted. On the 14th of June, 1982, Marjorie Bennett passed away after a sudden cardiac event in Hollywood, California, at the age of 86. Her estate was estimated at around $200,000, a modest figure for a life spent in tireless dedication to performance. Her remains were laid to rest at Forest Lawn, Glendale, and for audiences, the gentle image of Miss Lark strolling with her beloved dog endures a tender, bittersweet reminder of an artist who gave her whole heart to the screen. Though decades have passed since Mary Poppins first appeared on screen, its performers continue to exist in the shared memory of audiences worldwide. The songs, the wonder, and the lighthearted joy have settled into something timeless, yet beyond the sparkle and warmth lay quieter narratives rarely seen. Behind the smiles and unforgettable scenes were lives shaped by unseen trials, personal sacrifice, and moments of deep solitude. The very individuals who brought comfort and enchantment to millions often walked paths marked by loss and inner struggle, reminding us that even the brightest magic is sometimes born from lives touched by shadow. They poured their hearts into their craft and gave the world moments of pure joy, even when the personal cost was quietly heavy. If these stories resonated with you, share them so others can reflect as well. And if you're curious to explore more unseen chapters of Hollywood, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll continue bringing thoughtful stories that reveal the human side behind the spotlight and invite you to view the world of entertainment from a deeper, more meaningful perspective.